This is Elsie Carlisle. She is the matriarch of the family now. And she's 90 years old today. She doesn't look 90 years old. We're going to ask her some questions to find out a little bit about her. All right. Where and when were you born?
In 1935, October the 22nd, I was born in Chandler, Arizona.
Why don't you tell them the story about your birth? That's an interesting story.
Well, this was back during Depression, and though my mother and father lived in Georgia, they couldn't find jobs at that time, and you couldn't make a living at that time. And so in search of jobs, they were traveling, and they made it to Chandler, Arizona, and was in the orange orchard picking oranges. And a doctor and his wife was a nurse. They owned the orchard, and he noticed that Mama was pretty close to delivery, so he offered to come and deliver me when it was time. So she sent for him, and on the night when I arrived, he and his wife came and delivered me, and they wanted to adopt me. But Mama said, no, God gave you to me, so I'm keeping you. So I came home with her. When I was 2 weeks old, she decided to come back to Georgia. By that time, my father had already come back to Georgia by himself. She wouldn't come with him at that time, but later she decided that she would come back. So then by herself, with me 2 weeks old, my brother 2 years old, and one little suitcase with all three of our belongings in it, she hitchhiked with that burden back to Georgia from Chandler, Arizona.
And what's your earliest childhood memory?
When I was about 6 years old, I think, 5 or 6, we had a rooster that liked to chase us when we were out in the yard. And every time I'd go out, he'd chase me, and I'd have to run back in the house. And so one day he was after me, and my aunt that we lived with at that time was on the front doorsteps, and she was sweeping them off she had the broom in her hand, and the rooster started after me, and she tried to kill him after him with the broom, and she fell and broke her arm, and I felt so bad. I felt like I had caused it.
What did you like to do when you were a kid?
We played hopscotch, jump rope, caught crawdads in the creek, and just hide and seek. That was one of our favorites.
What's one thing kids today would never believe about how you grew up?
Using an outhouse. Most of them don't even know what that is. But the homes that we had, none of them ever had plumbing. There was no electricity at that time, and so it was a lot different than it is now.
What was your first job, and what did you learn from it?
I was 12 years old, and I got a job working as a car hop. I was a cute little thing, made good tips, but I was short at that time, just like I am now, and I had trouble hanging the trays on the window. They'd roll the window down almost all the way and leave it up a little bit, and then you'd hook the tray over the window and then prop it on the side of the car with the food in it. And that was my first job when I was 12 years old.
How did you meet Daddy, and what made you fall for him?
It was a blind date, and we dated for 2 weeks. He said he knew immediately that I was the one that he was going to marry. When I walked through the door and he saw me, he said, "That's the woman I'm going to marry right there." 2 weeks later, we eloped, went to Florida, and we got married at Justice of the Peace in one of the counties in South Georgia on our way to Florida for our honeymoon. And it was his protectiveness and his love and his patience that won me over, and I fell deeply in love with him.
What was the biggest challenge you faced raising kids?
Communication, I guess, would be the most important one. It's easy for you to know what you're saying, but for them to hear what you're saying is sometimes it's different.
What's something, excuse me, that you're proud of that no one knows?
I don't know. I boasted the things I'm proud of, so I can't say that I'd have anything secret that I'm proud of.
How do you define a good life?
Being true to yourself, knowing what you believe, and having the courage to stand for it.
What's the funniest or most ridiculous trend that you've seen come and go?
That would be hard to say. I've seen so many. One that I'd like to see go, it's here to stay, looks like to stay. But when back in my day, when our overalls had a hole, we were so embarrassed. And Mama used to patch those to keep us from being embarrassed by the hole. And now, the bigger the hole, the prouder they are. But I'm still embarrassed over those things.
What invention or change in the world still amazes you?
I guess the thing that I'm amazed most by is AI. It just blows my mind, the things that they're capable of doing and the things that's happening. I mean, I see videos and things on Facebook and it looks so real, but you can't trust it. You don't know if it's real or not because the false looks real.
What's one belief or principle that's guided you all these years?
Just being honest, remain true to yourself, have the courage to speak, but try to speak kindly. Just be a friend, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That sums it up right there.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to add that you can think of?
Just that I'm very proud of my daughter for what she does. Being an author was a dream of hers from her youth, and she's just now getting into real heavy like she wanted to do then. So I'm so proud of her, and I wish her the best on that.
That's sweet, Mama. All right. Anything you want future generations who won't meet you, like Chloe's kids or River's kids or the other grandkids' kids, anything you want them to know about you before we tell them the good stuff?
Oh, don't get into that. Just know that when you get old, even though I'm 90 today, my body is old, but inside this old body, there's still a beautiful young girl. So treat me like that.
No, that's sweet. All right. We love you, Mama.